For any project which is working on solving business problems, and especially and specifically business intelligence technology being implemented for solving business problems, the prime mover is data. So let's take a look as to why is it important to monitor your data. So let's get going. Let's first understand the importance of it. The first and foremost thing is basically to identify the deviations. The deviations in the data from its source, because it is coming from various different sources, various different forms, various different formats, we're dealing with a problem already. A problem of handling the data, which is huge, big data, and complex. Which means to say that there is already a lot of anomalies and deviations inbuilt into it. Of course, I have ways of handling all of it, but then in spite and despite of having the data cleaned and using it for analysis, there would always be a deviation in the way the data is being used by the project within a business intelligence solution being built for solving the business problem. So it's important you make a note of monitoring your data at every stage, every step of your project to ensure that you're not losing out on the quality, you're not having the issue of anomalies being addressed even after the cleaning and pre-processing stage. It's also important that you evaluate the performance of the business intelligence tool or the predictive modeling solution that is built, because unless and until your model is not performing in line with the expected outcomes of the business, it is of no use, which is basically saying that there is no business impact whatsoever. So I not only need to evaluate the performance of the solution that we are building, the project that we are working on, I need to evaluate the performance of the model and the solution, keeping in mind the data which is being fed. Data is the prime mover. Data is the new fuel. So is the case when we talk about performance evaluation using past data, present data, and real-time data. It's also about aligning with compliances. Compliance of collecting data, collating data, consuming data, storing data, and analyzing the data in line and aligning with the business needs, organizational goals, key performance indicators, key result areas, and at the same time, managing the risk when it comes to handling data. Right from sourcing to ingestion to integration to storage to data mining and data analysis and data analytics, data interpretation and data visualization, it's a long journey. So it's very important that I identify the risks upfront and manage them at every stage so that I don't have to deal with changing the scope, changing the requirements, or change in the understanding of what the project is all about. Risk management helps in managing the risks of handling the data, managing the data, and analyzing the data across the entire project lifecycle. As mentioned, data is the new fuel, which fuels the decision-making process. It supports business decision-making, which is the DDDM, data-driven decision-making for the business to solve the problems. This is one of the most important aspect that I need to monitor my data across all different stages of my BI solution development, BI project, and BI deployment. Let's look at a real-time scenario. Talking about an online retail business. While you're in online business, you have a portal and an e-commerce website or e-commerce portal which would have your products, your catalog, your offers, which is what the customers would be looking out for. So there's a lot of data collection that happens with every interaction that the customer would have with your e-commerce portal. They would come and search for products. They would come and look for offers. They would come and look for combo. They would come and look for recommendations. They would also decide on buying, provided it is something that they are looking for and if the offer is attractive enough. So while they are going through the customer journey, while the customer is going through all of this exploration on your portal, there's a lot of data that is being collected in the back end through the customer data platforms that would be integrated with your online portal. There's a lot of customer data that is being collected, not just the demographics, but in terms of the psychographics, in terms of the behavior, in terms of the search, in terms of their interest, in terms of their preferences, and in terms of the interest that they would show on the recommendations that you would provide. And what are these recommendations? These recommendations are something similar to people who bought this product, bought these products also. Or when you buy a product A, there is a combo product A plus B at a lesser price with an offer. Now, while you have all of this built in, it all is driven by the data being collected of the consumer, of the customer, and of the user, which is going to be used for ensuring that you increase your revenue, you increase your upsell and cross-sell by implementing some of the business rules. So the rules execution engine in the back end would adhere to all the business rules in terms of product cataloging, in terms of data collection of the customer, which is generally like an opt-in, and the use of customer data for internal purpose and not for sharing outside are some of the rules that needs to be executed. On top of it, I will have rules of discounts, of offers, of the recommendation, and all of it coming together, which would mean that I need to do this analysis in real time. So I need to have a robust business intelligence solution to ensure that I don't lose out on the customer. Many a times the customer comes, does window shopping, puts it in the cart, and doesn't buy at all. Now, why is this happening? Is it happening frequently? Is it happening for a particular product? Is it happening for a group of product? Is it happening because there is no offer? Or for what reason? Is something that needs to be found out, and this should happen in real time. So the real-time analysis is very important on an online retail business because there is a loss of business when the customer leaves without buying your product, or for that matter, even putting the product in the cart and not going to the payment stage. So it's very important that I get to know all of this and keep on improvising on getting to the sweet spot in terms of the discount, in terms of the offer, in terms of combo products. All of it that needs to be decided in real time, runtime. And that is the robustness of the system that you would develop, for which you need to have control mechanisms, monitoring mechanisms, and tracking mechanisms inbuilt into your business intelligence tools, business intelligence solutions. And while doing all of this, you will definitely come across a lot of challenges. So let's look at the challenges and how do we overcome. First is the poor data quality, which has been a bane and a pain when it comes to business intelligence tools and business intelligence project implementation. I will have to look at deploying ways and means of enhancing the data quality, which would be taken care by the data wrangling step of my data science lifecycle. Scattered data across various sources and systems is because I have data coming in different type, different shape, different size from different sources, which is a norm these days, which throws structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data, which needs to be ingested and integrated for further analysis. Real-time data monitoring is essential in many of the situations, like the retail online business we spoke about, to ensure that you don't lose out on the customer interaction. You don't lose out on the customer business. You don't lose out on the revenue. You should also keep a watch on increasing in the data volume. More the interactions, more the customers coming onto your platform increases the data volume. How are you going to make use of it? What is the benefit of it? And how are you going to have a monitoring system as to what data is useful and what data is not? Is very essential to handle upfront, so that your infrastructure, in this case, your storage, doesn't add on to the cost. And data comes to you from different sources. And as mentioned, it's all about different data types, different structures, different formats, different forms, structured, unstructured, semi-structured, and all of it. And because of the data coming in from different sources, the process of ingestion, the process of staging, the process of storing, and then analysis and interpretation needs to be looked at it from the data safety, security, privacy, and data governance aspect. Safeguarding your data is paramount, because the data that you have collected is sensitive for your business, for your business growth, and for ensuring that you understand the customer better. So it's important you know how to safeguard the data that you have collected, which is what is the value that you would accrue once you have the predictive insights and predictive modeling using business intelligence tools applied onto it. That's it for now. Thank you so much.